The Jedi and the Sith have been arch-enemies ever since the latter was formed on Korriban, and they have been involved in countless wars against one another for thousands of years. But despite all these conflicts and need to defeat each other, there have been a few occasions where the Jedi and Sith did actually team up and work together against a common enemy. One notable occasion of this occurred during the Galactic War, in which the re-emerged Sith Empire fought to conquer the galaxy from the Old Republic. During this war, a new force called the Order of Revan, also known as the Revanites, emerged from the shadows and became a great threat toward both the Sith Empire and the Jedi-led Republic. The Revanites were a cult that followed the returned dark side embedded Revan. Revan was on a quest to bring back the earlier defeated Sith Emperor Vitiate in an attempt to permanently kill him, so Vitiate would be unable to transfer his consciousness as a means to cheat death, as he had done so many times before. Believing both the Republic and Sith Empire would attempt to stop him, Revan tried to destroy the two galactic governments, but ultimately failed. Despite this, he still continued with his plans to bring back Vitiate in order to permanently kill him. Finding out what he was up to, and believing what he was trying to accomplish was going to do more damage than good to both sides of the war, both Republic and Sith Imperial forces were sent to go stop him. Although this brief alliance between the Jedi and Sith aligned forces was very shaky, with both sides spying on one another during their team-up, they were successful in defeating Revan and his cult order. The next alliance between them, however, ended up being much more intertwined and lasted far longer, as both the Sith Empire and Republic were forced to forge an official military organization called the Eternal Alliance in order to combat the Eternal Empire. The Eternal Empire was secretly created by the former Sith Emperor Vitiate, now renamed as Emperor Valkorion, who was on set in destroying and consuming all the life forces in the galaxy as a means to become a godlike being. The Eternal Empire successfully became the dominant power in the galaxy and was later taken control of by Valkorion's children. Not wishing to be completely wiped out for good, the Sith and Jedi came together with their respective military forces and fought against the Eternal Empire, successfully overthrowing it in the end. Funny enough, shortly after their victory, the Jedi and Sith restarted their war against each other. The next notable Jedi and Sith team-up wouldn't happen for thousands of years, not until Abeloth appeared in the galaxy. Abeloth was an immensely powerful force being who was once the Mother of the Ones before her downfall into insanity after she consumed both the light and dark side force nexuses. She was imprisoned for thousands of years by the Ones, who were forced to deal with her every 100 or so years by reinforcing her restraints to a planet. But after they were all killed following Anakin's confrontation with them, there was no one to stop Abeloth from being released into the known galaxy after she figured out how to escape her prison. Abeloth was so powerful that even Grandmaster Luke Skywalker was unable to fully contend with her, and even the lost tribe of Sith that fought her, as they initially attempted to control her, found her to be far too overwhelming. Even when they blasted her with force lightning, she reacted as if they were tickling her. Abeloth was also able to appear as anything she pleased, from demented, tentacle-like monsters to beings her enemies knew personally. She was eventually defeated by Luke Skywalker and a forthcoming Sith Lord named Darth Krayt. Although initially it was a three-way battle, Krayt and Luke eventually came to an understanding that they needed to work together if they had any chance of defeating Abeloth. And they barely were able to do just that, with both of them being pushed to their absolute limits and facing multiple near-death experiences during their fight against her. There were a few other moments where the Sith and Jedi briefly teamed up to overcome a common goal. For example, when Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Dooku worked together to escape Hondo's prison, but nothing as major as the ones we mentioned earlier. Also, while the Sith were not around during the Vong invasion of the galaxy, it's very likely that if they were, they would have eventually teamed up with the new Jedi Order to fight against the galactic invaders. Thanks for watching this video. Help support the channel by becoming a member on our Patreon page, and be sure to subscribe for more videos like this one. And as always, may the Force be with you.